If you feel drained around certain people, it may not mean you are antisocial. It may mean your body is noticing an emotional cost before your mind can explain it. You can leave some conversations feeling strangely heavy. Nothing dramatic happened. No one yelled. No one insulted you directly. But afterward, you feel tired in a way that sleep does not fully fix. Your shoulders feel tight. Your mind keeps replaying the interaction. You wonder why you feel smaller, quieter, or more tense than before. And because the other person may seem normal on the surface, you start questioning yourself. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I am overreacting. Maybe I just need to be more patient. But sometimes your body understands the emotional math before your thoughts catch up. Some people drain you because being around them requires constant self-monitoring. You monitor your tone. You monitor their mood. You monitor whether they will twist what you say. You monitor how much space you are allowed to take. And monitoring is tiring. It is not relaxation. It is work. This is why a conversation can look harmless from the outside and still cost you something inside. Maybe they interrupt you often. Maybe they turn every topic back to themselves. Maybe they make small comments that leave you doubting your memory, your choices, or your worth. Maybe they're only warm when you agree with them. Maybe they do not attack you loudly. They simply make it hard for you to feel steady. Your nervous system notices patterns like this. It notices when you have to shrink to keep the peace. It notices when your honesty is not safe. It notices when someone takes your attention but rarely gives care back. It notices when your body is bracing even while your face is smiling. That bracing is often what people call being drained. It is not just tiredness. It is the exhaustion of staying on guard. You may feel drained around someone who needs constant reassurance. You may feel drained around someone who turns your boundaries into guilt. You may feel drained around someone who speaks at you but does not really hear you. You may feel drained around someone who makes their emotions your responsibility, and you may still love them. That is what makes it confusing. Feeling drained does not always mean the person is evil. It does not always mean you need to cut them off immediately. But it does mean something in the dynamic deserves your attention. Your body is giving you data. Not a final verdict. Not a punishment. Data. The mistake many people make is trying to argue with the signal. You tell yourself they did not mean it. You tell yourself they have been through a lot. You tell yourself you should be understanding. And maybe all of that is true. But understanding someone does not mean ignoring what happens to you around them. You can understand why someone is intense and still notice that intensity affects you. You can care about their pain and still refuse to become the place where all of it lands. You can be kind without becoming endlessly available. This distinction matters. Because many sensitive people were taught that noticing discomfort is the same as being judgmental. So they override their own body in order to stay nice. They call exhaustion patience. They call resentment loyalty. They call self-protection selfishness. And slowly, they stop trusting the very signals that are trying to protect their peace. Compassion does not require self-abandonment. You are allowed to notice the cost. You are allowed to ask, who do I become around this person? Do I feel more honest or less honest? Do I feel calmer or more tense? Do I feel seen or do I feel managed? Do I leave with more energy or do I leave needing to recover? These questions matter because your body often tells the truth through patterns. One draining interaction may be a hard day, but repeated draining interactions become information. The goal is not to judge everyone harshly. The goal is to stop dismissing yourself automatically. Sometimes the solution is a conversation. Sometimes it is a boundary. Sometimes it is less access. Sometimes it is accepting that someone can matter to you and still not be good for your nervous system in large doses. Distance does not always mean hatred. Sometimes distance is regulation. Sometimes it is the space your body needs to stop living in reaction. Start small. After an interaction, pause and ask yourself, what changed in me? Did I feel open before and tense after? Did I leave feeling guilty for having normal needs? Did I feel like I had to perform? Did I feel like my energy was being pulled out of me? Then believe the pattern enough to respond differently. You might shorten the conversation. You might stop over-explaining. You might let a message wait. You might choose not to share vulnerable things with someone who has not handled them gently. You might leave before your body has to scream. This is not cruelty. This is stewardship of your attention, energy, and peace. The people who are healthy for you may still challenge you. They may disagree with you. They may have hard days. But they do not consistently leave you feeling erased, tense, or responsible for everything. Safe connection usually gives your body more room, not less. It lets you breathe. It lets you be honest. It lets you exist without constantly calculating the emotional weather. So if someone drains you, do not rush to shame yourself for noticing. Listen carefully. Your body may be pointing to a boundary your mind has been afraid to name. And sometimes protecting your energy is not distance from love. It is the beginning of self-respect. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, subscribe to Cognivae and leave a like. It helps us create more videos like this.